Hey guys, I'm Matt Lighty, and this is the first video of the season 6 Vessel of Hatred Diablo 4 build diary for the character I'll be playing. And that character is a necromancer, and focusing, well, on minion stuff, obviously, because they're necromancer. And yeah, I would be a lot farther, as would everybody, but I said I would do a diary at the end of each day, or the beginning of the following day for the previous day. But the fucking game was delayed for 6 hours, despite having a hour-to-hour, 10-hour countdown leading up to it, which is comical at best, but here we are. But yeah, so this is, I'm level 29. There's not a whole lot to talk about, but I guess I'll talk about the basics. Never played Diablo 4. The level of impact of playing a summoner is pretty minimal as far as what you could pick. You have a class specialization that only necromancers have called Book of the Dead. Book of the Dead puts your minions into 3 different categories effectively, being skeletal warriors, skeletal mages, and golems. You don't have to use all of them. In fact, there's an option to effectively opt out of a certain type, being the last option, which it gives you a buff for yourself, but you're no longer able to raise them. This is also applicable to all other kinds, being the mages and being the golems. And they're broken up into 3 loose categories, being bone, blood, iron for golems, shadow, cold, bone for the mages, and the warriors have skirmishers, defenders, and reapers. These just do certain things as far as it changes their functionality. For example, reapers have a heavy attack every 10 seconds, and they have a scythe versus like a little sword. And the second part of it makes it so there's a chance when they hit things, they make corpses, which you could use for various activities. So you got some customization amongst them. I guess you could do the math on 3 choices, 3 deep, times 3. Whatever that equals, that's the level of permutations you could accomplish here. Now, you also have things called aspects which go on. That's the bottom highlighted portion of this item where it says damaging an enemy with a basic yada yada. Those you can add on pretty much all gear, and some of those will augment minions in different ways, having them do different things, increasing the amount you have. So that's the level of customization that I'll be experiencing pretty much tonight or tomorrow morning. But level 29, not a whole lot going on, but I'll still talk about it. So in your ability page, this is like our kind of skill tree we progress through to pick up our abilities. Your first set of abilities are kind of like cantrips. They're referred to as primary skills. These are the ones that generate your resource. For a necromancer, it's essence is what I use. Life being the normal thing on the left. But yeah, I don't particularly use my essence because I mostly have spec'd into everything that has to do with minions. So a lot of nodes like these small ones saying, my skeletal warriors have more life and more damage. And I have the same thing for mages and golems. But the buttons I do have are pretty limited but useful. One of them is Blood Mist, which makes me intangibly immune for 3 seconds and heals me. It's like a oh shit button. You know, and then I have something over here, which is my ultimate ability called Army of the Dead. Summons forth a bunch of volatile skeletons that run around blowing things up. This is like my bigger cooldown. It currently has a 60-second cooldown, but it gets down to, I think, like 50 seconds or lower. And then eventually I'll just have this node as like the big node, which just makes my minions faster and stronger. So not a whole lot going on there. I'm not clicking a whole lot of buttons, realistically. You can, but I'm just not. And maybe I'll incorporate more over time, but just for now I don't have much. And there's cool aspects we talked about, like the adding more minions, but also ones like this in the gloves that say a dark aura surrounds you, inflicting Decrepify and Iron Maiden, which if you don't know what they are, those are the 2 curses I have access to. So it automatically applies this to things around me. And if you wanted to, you can actually spec into these things, which in itself would do nothing, but you could access the augmentations for them behind them. So maybe I'll spec into those eventually and fiddle with that. I have no clue what I'm going to be using as far as like in the end game. The game is incredibly laggy at the moment. You know, being 6 hours behind and incredibly laggy has been an unfortunate series of events, but I expect nothing less from the immaculate conception that is Blizzard as a company. So I guess I could show you for a minute or two what this looks like. So there's my AoE curse thingy. God, it's fucking laggy. And this is what it looks like. Pretty much just minions are killing things, and then I push Army of the Dead. It spawns a bunch of stuff. I think my audio settings, God, it's so fucking laggy, have reset throughout the day. Let me lower this. It's like so loud on my end. Let's bring the master volume to like 3. There's no escaping the lag. So yeah, it's pretty much, it just incorporates me walking around and then minions kill things. And I even have a level of thorns to my character, which I'll get more of eventually. But yeah, I use my primary skill and right click, which is the channeled ability, to just augment my damage slightly. But no, overall there's really not a whole lot going on playing a summoner, which is fine. It's kind of what I want, and I'll have eventually my minions get more plentiful and better. But not a whole lot to go over at the moment. Or as of right now, I'm basically just walking around, and they're killing things for me. Eventually, I'll get other things that, like, you know, suck minions together, kind of like a Void Sphere in PoE, and do that sort of stuff to, like, augment how they play. But no, overall, it's like I'm playing a summoner through and through. Still feels like it's so loud. But aside from the game's lag, like, am I enjoying myself? I think so. It's hard to say. It was a very bad first day, so the second day should be a lot better of representation. In general, I'm enjoying the character's progression, so I think that's fun, but I'll do another one of these tomorrow. There's really not a whole lot more to talk about, and then tomorrow will be a much better representation of what's actually transpiring here. We can get into what Diablo's more about, talk more about what the season is, because there's a pretty fun seasonal mechanic, I would say, with the Realm Walkers. It's like a big Shadow of the Colossus type minion that follows you around. But yeah, for now I'm just gonna kind of say goodbye, and then look out for tomorrow's video if you're still interested in Diablo stuff and want to have an idea of what the game actually looks like. Today is more just like, this is legally what my playstyle looks like, but even then it's kind of a meme. It's very laggy, and I would probably recommend just not even playing until the weekend. Not that that will be any better, but maybe it will be, I don't know. Either way, I'm Matt Lighty. I'll see you guys in the live stream, and then next video will be after a substantially larger amount of playtime. Unfortunately, I only got to play for 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours last night because of the delays. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video where I'll probably be level 60 and starting to do actual content in the game. Alright, bye-bye.